Holy sh! Look at the size of this thing. This is the Wandrd Hexad Carryall Duffel. It's the 60 liter. It also comes in a 40 liter version, which is carry-onable. This one is not carry-onable. Unfortunately, the Wandrd guys could not send me the 40 as well to review. In fact, I had to buy this with my own money to show it to you. Okay, look how big this thing is. It's massive. Got this back plate, they got these straps. There's a couple little quick access pockets, an organization pocket at the top, and then the main compartment, as well as a sort of bottom compartment that has an internal organizer if you want it, or you can just smush it down at the bottom and it doesn't take much space at all. Ultimately, a pretty simple bag, but here's the gist on this bag. Before I show you all the nooks and crannies, all the pockets, all the features, here's the gist on this bag. Plain and simple, these Carryall Duffels, these are semi-rigid duffels. That's the way I talk about them, a semi-rigid duffel, right? So you've seen we've all seen the floppy duffels that are just floppy. These are semi-rigid. They're not like a hard case, but they're just it's like when it's empty, it's likely to stand by itself. You've seen these kinds of bags. They're all over the airport, like the North Face. Patagonia has their black hole duffel. North Face has their rubberized sort of duffels. These are duffels with backpack straps that have, a little bit of a thicker material on the outside, but really it's the backpack strap, kind of semi-rigid feel. That's what you should think about this as. This is one of those North Face or Patagonia duffels, but with a couple more pockets. Okay, so point number one is it's just a semi-rigid duffel. Number two is it does have some more organization. You've got a quick access pocket, not a quick access pocket, but an organized pocket up in here. That's the wrong zipper. Up in here with some some stuff in here. An RFID pocket. There's a little bit of organizers. Ultimately, it's not going to win any organization awards for you. It's not like it's not going to be the best organized bag you ever had, but it might be the best organized duffel that you've had. There's not an internal organization on this one. It's just one big capacity or one big sort of space, but there is a usable kind of shoe spot at the bottom, but it's much bigger than shoes. I mean, I could put all my clothes for my trip in there and then just have my gear. Okay, now this is the 60 liter version, all right? It's 60 liters. They make a 40 liter as well. That is carry-onable, all right? This one is not carry-onable. I mean, you might be able to get it on, sneak it on in America, but you'd be a jerk. You'd have to put it sideways in the thing above. It would not fit vertically in the overhead compartment. So you'd be taking 3 spaces with your one bag. Oh, sorry, it's a little bigger than normal. Oh, I didn't notice. Really, sir? You didn't notice the fucking the biggest bag we've ever seen in our entire life? Okay, so point 3 is just that it's got tons and tons of space. The way I've set this up and packed it out is with partly clothes and partly gear. I think this thing works great for that. I don't know what kind of trip you need to go on where you need to fill this whole thing up with clothes. It's possible. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying myself personally, I like traveling with a minimal amount of stuff, the amount of stuff that I need just to not have to think about what clothes I'm wearing very often. What I do have here though is I've got a packing cube, camera cube, for all sorts of gear that I need to bring on a month-long trip to Nashville. So this is actually packed out completely with clothes, jacket, and sweater, as well as a bunch of camera gear that I'm planning on bringing to Nashville. Okay, so that's the gist on the bag. The gist on the bag is it is perfect for doing gear and clothes. It's just such a big bag. It's a semi-rigid duffel, okay? Just like you've seen on other bags probably before with backpack straps. But, however, this one has a little more organization, a top pocket and 2 quick access pockets. Some little pockets inside as well as a place over here for segmenting your clothes if you wanted to segregate them. Okay, so where do I even start on this bag? I guess we'll just start looking around the bag, and you've got these grab handles, right? On every side, you've got the grab handles. On this up top, you've got these 2 guys which kind of come together to make a strap, and then the bottom of the bag is just their logo and their foot. There's a like a piece of like rigid foam or almost cardboard inside of here that keeps it kind of stiff. One of the things I think they could have done on this bag, or they could do in the future, is almost even do a heavier duty one, like a more serious one, so that when the bag is empty as you're filling it up or whatever, it's just like, it can be even more protection for your stuff. As it is, the material, tarpaulin, it's a kind of like sealed something. It's like, this is water sealed nylon, and then this is tarpaulin, which is like this very almost plasticky, rigid, like a stiff rubber kind of thing. And if you haven't yet, you definitely need to watch my other review on their HEXAD Access Duffel, where I get into a little more detail on like, this is a material that seems to be really strong and really sturdy. I'm not crazy about the feel of it. It feels very rigid, and it doesn't feel very, it's not that it doesn't feel quality. It's just that it's like, I don't know, something, it doesn't speak to your fingers the same way that like some other materials do. All in all, this bag is built really rugged and strong. You can see these straps go all the way around, and they're hopefully reinforcing us. We've got these cinch straps that hopefully come down underneath it, so the bag itself is supported and it's not going to bulge and break and pop or something like that. One of the challenges that I had on the other duffel from Wandrd are the zippers, the little zippers that they use for zipping up these compartments on the bag. Now this bag I don't have much of a problem with, because it just uses that little zipper on the top pocket and the bottom pocket, which I don't plan on like bulging out. They use a really big number 10 zipper over here, which is like, I love that. I just love being able to crank on a zipper, and this feels strong. I wish they would have done this on the HEXAD Access Duffel. Okay, so we got handles everywhere, which is necessary for a bag like this. It's this big, you need to pick it up, you need to throw it in. It's like a gear bag. This does have, check this out. We've got the straps, all right, that go over the shoulder. These can come off, right? And then you can either leave it just as a duffel, or you can, what's good is when you carry it just as a duffel, these handles on the top, you see how the bag's a little longer? It's longer this way than it is that way, right? Like that makes carrying it this way not that bad. It's kind of nice. I mean, it's still a big bag and it's heavy, and there's a lot of weight on that handle there. There's a lot of weight. Well, you see this and this right here. That's where I worry about the tarpaulin. Like I'm like, but they've got it like double, triple, you know, stitched and a couple that. So hopefully they're really doing it. But that's where I worry about if you're just carrying it around. It's so much weight. It's such a big bag. I don't think it would break though. And that's what you want from your bag, right? You want to be able to just like go like, I know it's not gonna break. Like I have to treat this thing like it is never gonna break, because that's why you buy a bag that looks like this. You know, it would be sucky to get a bag that looked like this and it broke. So you've got the straps and you've got a place to put the hip straps. Now, because this is a check-in bag, I wouldn't be carrying it on with me. I don't want the hip straps there just clicking on stuff as I check, after I check it in. So all I gotta do is get this thing into the car, you know, into the taxi or something like that, from the taxi to the check-in counter, right? And then they take it from there. So I don't mind doing that with just these straps, and probably even just leaving these on it when I check it in. The straps themselves are like, these are the ones that I felt like, you know what they do? They're doing this thing where they cut away right here and right here. On these straps, because the bag is so big, I can feel it, like it kind of feels uncomfortable. It feels like where the strap gets thinnest, it pulls into my pectoral muscles, frankly. Excuse me for being so upfront about it, but yes, into my pecs. But it does, you feel it a little bit. It's not a big deal, but it's one of those things where it's like, if these straps by themselves were really comfortable, that would go a long way. And they don't. They feel like, I don't know. It's just not like, it's it's hard. I mean, it's a heavy, big ass bag, right? So like no strap's gonna save you from anything. But I keep thinking about that Wandrd, not the Wandrd, but the Heimplanet Monolith 40 liter. Huge bag, pack it with a bunch of stuff. And for some reason, without the hip strap, it feels comfortable, and I don't understand why. This is not that, right? This is like it feels like where I want the strap to be bigger and like support me. It cuts in so that it makes a handle when you use the bag, and I just feel like that's kind of a bummer. But where are you gonna find a bag this big, right? With these materials and this kind of organization with the backpack straps. No bag is perfect. Yeah, so the straps aren't the most comfortable thing in the world. Everything else seems to be working dope if you need a bag like this. Okay, so I don't put my hip straps on this one because I don't want to have to take them off when I check it in. Those hip straps are the worst when you're moving a bag around like this. They're always flopping about, and so I just leave them off and say screw it. Okay, now that's the straps, that's carrying the bag, that's the handles on the bag. Now let's talk about the two quick access pockets right here. One of them actually goes to a compartment that's accessible on the other side of the bag, on inside of the bag as well, to this very long or like long pocket like this. It's a mesh pocket. So you could throw in a water bottle or something into there. I use this bottom pocket for my water bottle. I'll show you in a second. I'm not using this to carry anything right now. I've just kind of got everything in other places. So this would be a good spot for boarding passes. Turn that sucker around and you've got the same exact thing on the other side, same size pocket, but it's a different thing. It goes into a quick access pocket, which is lined with a nice cushy felt sort of material. So I put my headphones in there, my Bose Soundport headphones, throw those in there, and it feels nice. Okay, so now let's go to the top of the bag. And I have the same criticism on this, that if you saw my HEXAD Access duffel bag, there's this one thing where you can pull these straps off, right? You can click them out. Let me do it. So the straps can come off from these little clips right here. So you can pull both of them off and you can store them in the bag maybe, or you just pull them off. They have clips on the bottom as well. These kinds of clips, which I always hate. There's other bag companies I've seen that use this clip and it's strong. It's a strong clip, but it feels like cheap plastic. I've seen a lot of people using these. And there was a bag back in the day I remember talking about, and the manufacturer jumped on the comments in the YouTube and was like, actually, it feels cheap, but it's like a really strong clip. That's why companies are using them, is because they are affordable for them to get, and you get to save a little money for the consumer, but they just feel shitty. They feel cheap to me. But the good thing about it is now we've got this functionality. We didn't have to spend another $40 on the bag, and we've got this functionality where we can pull these straps completely off the bag. Okay, now Wandrd does this thing where, okay, so here's this little loop, okay? This little webbing loop, and that's what the strap goes into. Now, they designed this so that you can have a more minimal look to this, so that when you zip it up, there aren't those two little loops there. Now, it seems like that's the only reason why they did this, where there's a pocket inside of it, right? And then you have two zippers. Now, you have one zipper on the outside, which is only usable to hide these little webbing loops. I don't know if you can see these. I can't move the bag around very much to show it to you, but there's these two little loops, and I'm like, why not just put those little loops on the outside of this damn thing and only have one zipper to get into this access pocket? Because the two zippers, like, there's a zipper on both sides, and you're never knowing, like, am I grabbing the outside one or the inside one, right? See, there's two on the outside, and there's only one on the inside, right? Like, it's like another thing where it's like you have three possible zippers you can be grabbing right now, and only one of them is the right one. So I think they're trying to make it so for some people who are never going to use the straps, if you just want to use it as a duffel, that it doesn't feel shitty that way, but it still kind of feels shitty that you have an extra zipper just lying around. Anyways, maybe maybe someone can comment on what the feature is for, or like why Maybe there's something I'm missing about why to do that. Okay, then inside of here, you've got some nice, simple organization. A big pouch in the back, which has a little Velcro separator in the middle that you can kind of like a tab that you can clap in or clap out. It's just some Velcro. You've got an RFID pocket back here that's zippered. You've got a few mesh pockets, 2 of them to be exact. And then you've got another mesh pocket on the front side. It's like, you know, it's like a couple inches of width around here. So all that organization is just for how you use it, like a couple inches, 3 inches maximum around here. But it is nice to have a spot on the top of the bag you can throw a bunch of your stuff. I worry a little bit about my glasses in a big bag like this, right? Like I wouldn't leave my glasses there if I was checking this in, right? So I'd have to have a daily carry with me that I'd be taking on the plane to have my glasses, my computer and shit like that. And so I normally wouldn't be checking in my computer and stuff. This does have a computer compartment. But if you're traveling by car or some other way where you do use this as like you have a daily carry bag packed away, then it's nice to pull those kinds of items that you need while you're traveling and put them here in this pocket or in these quick access pockets. This duffel bag makes that really easy to do. And that's one of the things that this one does super well, especially compared to those like regular North Face Patagonia duffels where there isn't a lot. There aren't a lot of pockets. There isn't a lot of organization. Okay, now let's open up this main pouch thing. This is how you get to inside the bag, okay? And it's big. It's big. Okay, first of all, here's your laptop compartment. It's massive. It goes along the entire length of the bag. Just throw it in and out. It's got a Velcro thing there. When you're doing the TSA, you can't carry this on, so you don't have to do the TSA. But the same thing will be the case for their 40 liter, I would imagine, is it would look exactly the same. All of this would be exactly the same, except it would be, you know, narrower by about, I don't know, maybe 10 inches or something like that. Okay, now right on top here, I've got this little day bag that I pack away because it's just nothing. It's just tiny, thin little fabric. It's just dope looking, simple thing. I throw it right on top of the bag because this is my daily carry when I get to where I'm going. Inside, I have some stuff like my iPad and some things. You've seen this in other videos. If you watch the Wandrd Hexad Access video, I'll go into more depth on that. For now, you just know that I pack in a daily carry bag in a bag like this. Then I've got a couple items like a padded vest, like a big fluffy old school vest, and my rain jacket, okay? And one other item outside of a packing cube. That's just one of these nice shirts I just had lying around because I was like, I need to take this. This is all packed for a trip to Nashville that I'm gonna be taking. I don't think I'll be taking this bag, but just packed it up like I would. This is one huge packing cube, which basically this is all my clothes besides the things that I've taken out, the vest and the rain jacket and the shirt. The rest is my clothes, okay? And that just goes in there like so. And then this is a camera cube from PackSafe, which I'll show you here in a second. So inside the bag, it's just big. There is a mesh pocket over here, just a little mesh kind of pocket that goes on that face of the bag. There's a mesh pocket that goes the length of the bag here. This is the pocket that the zipper from the outside of the bag on one of the sides gets you into. The other one got me into where my headphones were in a padded little place. This is the mesh pocket that it gets you into from the other side, the outside of the bag. I am so sorry, I apologize. Listen, I'm a human just like you. And then on this side of the bag, there's another flap that comes down and you have two pockets, one of them smaller and one of them longer. Now, I personally don't use pockets like that when I travel very much at all. I normally want to have stuff in my bag that like I'm not going to forget, or it's like I'd rather use packing cubes than use things built into the bag normally. But you can picture putting your socks and underwear and some of those sorts of things. Now, the other thing to show you is this bottom of the bag. This actually has a pocket that you can fill up and it'll take over like, half of the bag if you want. If I wanted to, I could probably fit my clothing directly in there, and that's just in there. And you access that pocket, wait for it, you access that pocket from the outside of the bottom of the bag, okay? Where I have put a sweater. My bag is like literally falling apart. I put my sweater and a water bottle. So that pocket can be filled up to do a bunch. Normally I would just probably throw one item in there that I can get easily, like a sweater, and then I'll throw my water bottle in there if I'm walking around, if I'm actually carrying this in transit. Now I'll just show you that packing cube real quick, just so you get a sense of how much clothes is in here. I've got like 2 pairs of jeans. There's this 1 layer of shirts, and then there's a whole layer of shirts underneath it, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shirts, 2 undies, and 1 pair of swim trunks and 1 pair of sleeping shorts underneath. Okay, and then all of that is rolled up Marie Kondo style, the life-changing magic of tidying up, which, you know, shout out in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Any of you Marie Kondo fans out there? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, say what's up. Share the secret code word, and I'll let you into my secret backdoor entrance. What? That was, what? But look at that, that's all my clothes. That is a month of clothes minus a couple extras. Like all in one thing, and I can just fit that right in the bag, and I'm good to go. Now, in Nashville, I'm planning on doing some podcasting and some video stuff, right? So here's the kind of setup that I have. This is the PackSafe camera cube. Wandrd actually makes some camera cubes of their own, but I had this on the shelf, and it's honestly just feels a lot more solid than the Wandrd ones. So I went with this and packing it up. I've got like audio, 2 cameras, 1 GH. Well, one of them is the camera that I'm shooting with right now. But I put my GH2 in there, this Fuji X-T100. I've got all my cables. I just wanted to, I think I'm gonna need to bring this whole rig out. And if I can fit this in to like one of our roller bags or something like that, then I've got everything I need for my tech stuff, which would be a weird, like that would be a weird thing for me to travel and go like, I can also do video. Okay, so this is basically the amount of stuff that I've got in that bag, plus all of the things that are in the organization, plus the sweater and the jackets that I mentioned in the 1 long shirt. And I think you could fill that bag up even more. Huge capacity, huge duffel, just like massive. Tons of organization. This thing is a damn fine, solid kind of big gear bag to get. And it comes in a 40-liter version, right? Which is a big deal because now that's carry-onable. 40-liter, I really wish I could get my hands on, because how much space could you fit? How much stuff could you fit in a 40-liter version of this? Probably, I couldn't fit this how it is set up like now, right? In these 2 packs like this, I'd have to break it down in a different way. I bet I could fit close to the same amount though. I mean, don't get me wrong, this thing is massive, but I think you could fit a lot more in this than I've been fitting in it. Now, let's talk about alternatives to this. Here's the only thing I can honestly think of, okay? It's a massive duffel bag from Bihn that they sent me a while ago. This is such a simple bag. Simple webbing handles, right, on either side. Simple handles up on the top, and 1 zippered access compartment. But the truth is, literally nothing on here is going to break down on you, ever. The material itself is made of some of like the strongest bag material you can make a bag out of. The YKK number 10 zippers are just so solid and well sewn in, right? This is a gear bag that is no frills, no thrills, no organization whatsoever, but it does its job. It's just super honest about it. So it's like the opposite direction of the Wandrd, where it offers no frills and thrills, just the capacity. And the Wandrd's like, here's the capacity with the frills and thrills. You don't have to settle. So I don't know, I haven't done a review on this thing, but I mean, what would a review on that be like? You can fit many personal items, and also you could, and other items too. All right, so that is the Wandrd Hexad Carryall 60-liter duffel. Okay, it's a rigid duffel. It's got organization, and it's got tons of space. If you purchase this bag, please do so through the link in my description. If this video review was helpful for you, I love being able to make these videos. The only reason why I'm able to do that is when people click and purchase through one of my links, either here at bagworks.co, then I get like a small percentage of the sale on some of these companies. So I love to be able to do it, and I'm grateful for all of you who have been clicking and purchasing. And if this was useful for you, please do it through my link. I will try to put links to everything I mentioned in the description below this video. If you have any questions, please just add it in the comments at YouTube. I try to stay up on top of these things and answer anything that I can. If you haven't yet, check out bagworks.co. Bagworks.co is my site for showing you all of the places, all of the different bags you should know about for travel, for daily carry, for business, for going to the gym, these sorts of things. I'm kind of a fiend about it. And when you go to bagworks.co, get on the email list there, because I'm gonna be doing some giveaways and things like that. You wanna be involved, there'll never be any spam. Like, this is one email list you'll like to be on. If you're watching a fucking like 20-minute bag video, right? If that's you right now, this is one email list you'd be like, actually, no, I do get this email like every few weeks. He sends an email and I open it. It's interesting. It's good. I don't know if it's good for me though. All right, y'all. Thanks for being interesting, and interested consumers trying to purchase things that are good with your money, that are gonna last, that are sustainable, that like are gonna get you to where you wanna be, doing your adventures in life. I mean, life is a fucking adventure, you guys, and I forget about it every goddamn day. I get just stuck in the mire, but it's an adventure, and I love bags because they help us remember that. So, hope you find a travel bag that you love going on your adventure with. And as cheesy as that sounds, I'm literally signing off with that because I mean it. Sincerely, from my heart to yours. Travel well, full hearts, big eyes, broken vessels. See you guys.
Bagworks.co, jacereeves.net. Those are the websites.
I guess those are the websites. Yeah, he's wanting us to, I guess, go check out what he's up to or something like that. Yeah, looks nice.